Give me 1 second. Let me go live and then we can get started. Good to go. Let's make sure I go live on Instagram. Perfect. Yeah, I don't know why Instagram has like this weird view of me, but I'm gonna work that out later. Yeah, so anyway, that's a little bit weird about Instagram, but I'm gonna do that later. Anyway, so welcome. Let's make sure this stuff is fixed. Yeah, I think, let's see. Okay, audio sounds good. Something needs to be fixed, but I think it should be good. So what we're gonna get into today is that it looks like Instagram is leaving the US. And today's date is January 16th. And on the 19th, I believe Instagram is going to be officially gone in the US. So what I want to do is I want to go over like some of the best story times we had on Instagram. And I'm going to start today. I think one of the stories we're going to go over today is going to be who the F did I meet on Facebook dating. It's a very popular story from 2024. I didn't get a chance to watch the whole like series. I did hear about it. I know some YouTubers covered it, but since Instagram is it's just TikTok is leaving, I think I'm gonna cover it today. Hope I didn't say Instagram earlier. Anyway, so this is about TikTok leaving, and I'm gonna just cover some of the popular story time on TikTok. Okay, so let's get started. Perfect. So this is part one of who the F did I meet on Facebook dating. Okay, so let's get started.
Series on how I was defrauded and swindled out of close to $4,000 by a Facebook dating swindler. Just gonna tell my story in full detail, and I know I'm probably gonna be judged. So what? It is what it is. But this is my truth. I'm trying to currently heal from it. I'm very traumatized from this situation.
Sir, the volume is low.
Therapy, and I am on multiple anxiety medicines. So to help myself grow through what I went through, I'm just speaking my story and my truth. So basically, I met a guy through Facebook dating app, and he swiped on me first, and then I matched with him. We wrote back and forth. I gave him my number. He started texting me, and immediately he's telling me how he has commercial buildings and that he was meeting up with clients at the moment. And I replied back and said that I'd love to be on that status one day because I was trying to enter.
How was the volume?
He tells me, let's meet up and let's talk money. Cool. After so many texts back and forth, he eventually FaceTimes. We're talking back and forth on FaceTime. And he's just telling me all the little things like he just can't believe I have a boyfriend and da-da-da. And then he's asking and trying to see if I'm really coming to see him or if I'm playing. I wasn't serious at first. I was procrastinating and I was just hesitant. I just had got out of a 6-month relationship about a year prior. So I was still kind of fresh on the scene. So it was whatever. But I eventually got ready, and right after we got off the phone, he was asking me what I like to drink and making it seem like he was going to get a bottle, get down there. And right when I get there, I'm on the phone with my best friend, and I'm telling him I'm outside, and he immediately comes out and walks up to my car, like walks up on my car. I didn't even notice or see him, and it kind of startled me, but we just introduced each other, talked back and forth. It was nothing. We go up to his apartment complex to the 5th floor. It was like a lounge area where anyone could just hang out. TV, it was really nice. We're just up there chopping it up, talking. Wasn't thinking anything. We're just having casual conversation, getting to know each other. So after that was my air fresh.
Again, if you cannot hear the volume, let me know. But I'm streaming from her TikTok, so I'm not sure why it's so low.
Sure. After so long, just talking back and forth, I had noticed that, of course, there wasn't any liquor bottle. He didn't get anything. And when I brought it to his attention, he had said that how he been running around all day and how he didn't feel like going to the liquor store. So I was like, okay, that's fine. And I pulled out my Douce bottle that I had already had. I had said basically that I was hungry, and before I even had came as well, I had asked if we could grab something to eat. So by the time I got there and we were talking, chilling, drinking, I was like developing an appetite, and I said that I was hungry and I was ready to go eat. And we go out, we walk to the nearest Goodfellas. It was right around the corner. Go inside, it's kind of packed. So we're like, okay, whatever, let's check out the upstairs. It was a bar upstairs. Walk upstairs. I don't know if he wasn't feeling the vibe. I don't know what was going on, but he was ready to go back out. So I was like, okay, cool. We were halfway down the steps and he was telling me how he didn't have his ID on him. And I was just like, okay, that's fine. And he said we were going to go back to his apartment and get the ID. He had stopped by my car because I had told him I had some things in my car. And he was like insisting that I just, no, don't leave that in your car. Bring it up to my apartment. Okay. So we stop by my car. I get the stuff out of there. We go back up to his apartment. So now we're inside his apartment. He goes into bathroom, room, wherever it was, because it was connected. And I was just stood by the door. I wasn't moving. I wasn't paying attention to anything. I was just minding my business. You know, I just met this person. I do not want to make it seem like I'm on anything in this person's house. Then he comes back out. I leave my purse on his couch. We head back out. We go back down and we're walking back towards Goodfellas, but he wasn't really feeling it. So he's like, let's go somewhere else. So I said, okay, cool. We go across the street. There was another pizza spot. Get inside. Immediately when we get inside, he picks up his phone and he says that he has a business card. Okay, I didn't think anything of it. Just continued and looked at the menu, whatever, talked to the waitress. So I was peeping. I could see him peeping. Wasn't really no big deal. Comes back to the table. We order. I say, you know, I want the quesadillas, and he was saying that he was fasting, so he wasn't hungry, but that he was still eat some mozzarella sticks. So I ordered those for us as well. We ordered together basically, and chopped it up, sat there. The vibes were good. We talked about family. I talked about me going to school. We talked about where we were from. He told me that he was from LA. I asked him about childhood memories, the parts of where he was from, about his siblings, his family, etc., etc. Telling me how he has a bunch of condos in different places and he has family in different places, etc., etc.
If you see any red flag thus far, let me know. Okay.
He asked for the check. The waitress brings us the check, and he picks up the check from the table, looks at it, puts it back down, and slides the check in front of me and says,
let's see.
oh, that's nothing. I can cash out you that. And I was like, okay. That was the second red flag, because the first red flag was he came and was wearing a dingy shirt, basketball shorts, and slides. I'm not one to judge, but I was just like, for your first time meeting up with someone, especially about business, if it's whatever, you're going to come looking like that, but whatever. So, yeah, second red flag.
Wait, did I miss something? Because I'm trying to set up the stream, right? Did I miss something? She said business or dating? I thought it was Facebook dating. So what is she talking about with Facebook business?
Was that? But I just was like, okay, I'm not going to think nothing of it. Said you're going to pay me back. Okay.
Sorry, real quick. I have to sign in something.
Getting back $15, basically. Pull my wallet out and I pay. So we leave. Go back to the.
Sorry about that. Apologize.
Fifth floor, not his apartment, but the fifth floor of the apartment complex. Where's the little lounge area? And
sorry about that, guys. I apologize. So let's see. What did I do wrong?
and drinking my Douce bottle again.
Perfect.
Finished the Douce bottle. We're just, again, chopping it up, getting to know each other. And he's telling me about how he has 19 different Airbnb properties all over the U.S. He has commercial buildings. He has clients. He travels, etc., etc. He was telling me how he could help me start my own Airbnb, how I should put my apartment on Airbnb, etc., etc. Then we began talking about past relationships. I told him about my past relationship. Then he begins to tell me about his past relationship. He was saying how his ex was lazy, how she lived up underneath him. He paid all the bills. She didn't do anything but basically just sleep all day. And he was saying that she would nag a lot and that he just wasn't really interested in her anymore because of the way she acted, and she was just too problematic. Said that he was just looking for a girl to just sit back and count the money and just enjoy life with him. And I was just like, I can dig that. And that's when he began telling me how he was feeling me, how he wanted me to run all of his businesses, how we're going to start businesses together, how we're just going to get to this money. And it was just sounding good. I was drinking, we were vibing. He was just making it all sound good. And then he was telling me, yeah, don't let what I have on fool you. I can still get dressed, put that on. I seen the pictures on the Facebook dating app. He looked like he was taking care of himself. So I didn't think nothing of it.
That's why I'm a little bit confused. She said Facebook dating app, right? But she mentioned like this like a business. So if it's a Facebook dating app and you agree to kind of meet him, right? You kind of like assuming like he's open to a relationship. If he's dating someone already, that's, you know what I'm saying? That's a kind of a red flag already. Again, if I'm missing something, let me know.
When I seen him dressed the way he was, because I was like, maybe he's just down right now. So whatever. He's telling me how he had just got back from Puerto Rico. He's showing me pictures, videos of his trip. And then he's telling me how he has his own liquor brand. Then I'm asking him, well, show me the liquor. You showing me the liquor. And then I'm asking, well, can I taste some? But he's telling me that he didn't have any. He told me that he basically just moved from LA down here to Kentucky. And he said that he didn't have any on him. It was back in one of his condos in Arizona. I mean, how the alcohol that he distilled, he went to Mexico, and just the process, and et cetera, in which I went to school for that. So I just thought we were vibing and having similarities. The vibe gets to going, and we get to getting flirtatious, and one thing leads to another, of course. And we go back down to his apartment complex, and that was the only time that I was consensual with him. And after that, everything seemed fine. And
okay, I'm gonna take a mental note of that.
Even before all that happened, we had already discussed how he said that he had to get up early around like 4 a.m. for a business. He had to meet clients and do stuff, etc. So once we got finished, I just didn't think nothing of it. We were sitting there just chilling, flirting back and forth, talking, end of the night, basically. So as he was walking me back down to my car, he's telling me to share my location and to let me know, of course, when I make it home. I didn't think nothing of it. I was just thinking, okay, well, he's really feeling me, so I'm going to just share my location. I'm not thinking nothing of it. I call my best friend, and of course, I tell her, and she's telling me, like, no, that's a red flag. But I don't think nothing of it. I'm just thinking, like, maybe,
Okay, true story. At first, I thought this was fake, but you're going to realize that later on, this is a true story. Again, I did not watch the whole thing. I've heard a piece of the story, and this is the first time I'm actually going to go through the whole thing. So be patient, because it just sounds fishy. If you're going to share your location, you know this person is going to know exactly where you live at. So why would you do that? That to me is a red flag, right?
No, he just wants to be cautious of me and make sure that I'm safe. But yeah, I make it home, and I'll be back for part 2 for the next day. This is part 1 to my scam series.
Okay, perfect. Scam series. So we're going to go to part 2. I think my setup is all good, so I'm going to try to head up to part 2 now.
Like Teresa said.
Come on. Don't do this to me. Okay, perfect.
Like Teresa said.
Part 2.
This story is the United Nations of red flags. It was so many red flags. I was, for sure, colorblind. I'm just so upset with myself that I really let somebody get over on me like that.
Why is the volume so low?
A literal green light, a walking green light. It's sad because I really know better, but I always try to give people the benefit of the doubt. And like, I never in my wildest dream would have expected somebody to lie about their entire being and identity. Like, I watch shit like that on TV. I would have never expected that shit to happen to me. Like, I literally ran into somebody with a narcissistic personality disorder. So yeah, this is part 2 to my scam.
I used to think that like a lot of like the word narcissist is being thrown around online a lot, but there's a certain sector on YouTube that it's not understated. It's real, right? But I think what she's gonna probably go through is probably like a liar, right? Do narcissists have like lying tendencies? Probably, right? But again, let's finish the story, then we're gonna come to a conclusion that's a narcissist or not.
Scam series on how I was defrauded and swindled out of close to
I'm sorry about if the volume is low. I really apologize for that. There's something I can really do about that because I have everything to 100.
$4,000 by the Facebook dating swindler. So I got back home that night. Nothing happened to me. Everything was fine. The next morning, he texted me and asked if I was good. And I said, yeah, I'm good. How are you feeling? And he said, I'm feeling like it's time for us to get in our bag. So I said, yeah, it is. And I'm ready to follow your lead. Just tell me what's up, what you need me to do. He replies and says, I need you to be transparent about where you're at in life right now. I said, I'm definitely not where I want to be right now. I was trying to figure out if I wanted to go back and finish my master's degree, trying to figure out my next game plan. I said, but my finances are stable, and I'll tell you whatever else you wanted to know. Then he replies and says, you got money saved up. I did not think anything of it. Yes, dumb, stupid, ignorant, naive, etc., etc., etc. Keep going. So I was just trying to be upfront coming into something new because of how I was just so conservative about my finances in my previous relationship. So I was completely honest, and I told him about how I didn't have any money saved up at the time, but I'm good with managing money. I told him about how I had just made some money off of, I had created my own TikTok shop, and I just let him know pretty much like a little rundown. And at the end, I had basically said that I had a short-term goal by the end of the month that I basically just wanted to have some different motion. And he had replied and said, let's get it. So I just thought it was all good intentions. So I replied a corny reply. I just sent back the He Glock song, Let's Go. And then I was like, but nah, for real, I'm really ready to get to the money. And by getting to the money, I mean by starting my own Airbnb business. So I replied back and said, I'm loyal. Just wait and see. When you talk to me, you won't have to worry about anything while talking to me. I had said, I'll take care of you and I'll do what you need me to do. That was my worst mistake. That's when I activated the green light.
Wait, if you're gonna take care of him, right? I think you need more than $4,000 or whatever amount of money he's gonna swindle you out of. But that's just my opinion, though.
For him, basically. I was on a cloud thinking that I'm about to be talking to somebody again and be with somebody again. So I just was out of here. Always feeling like I have to prove myself to men, and that's my biggest mistake. But anyways, so he replies back and asks and says, so you're going to Detroit tomorrow? And I reply back and say, yeah, but I thought he was meaning ride with him to Detroit. Then I asked if he was coming to see me later because the previous night when I was there, he said that he wanted to come over to my place. That's what made me feel like he was interested in me because I was like, he's ready to see me again. So he says, yeah, and then I just say back, okay, bet, have a good day. So then he texts me a couple hours later and says some sexual flirtatious things, and we go back and forth. Then I ask, do you want me to cook? And he says it's all good. Then I ask and say, what time do you think you're coming? No response. So I let a couple hours go by, and then I texted him with the eyes. The eyes emoji, if you don't know what I'm talking about. He says he's waiting on a play, then he's going to come. And I say, okay. Then he calls and he says that he might have somebody send some money to my phone. I was thinking, cool, I'm about to get my $15 back. I mean, something. But that's not what it was. It says to me to send a screenshot of my profile on Zelle. So I sent the screenshot of where it just says my name and my number. But my number showed up as my old house phone number. He texts and says, that's not your number. And I had to let him know, like, it's not that one. It's underneath my house number. He then says, okay, pull up real quick so I can pull the money out with you when they send it. And I'm like, real quick? We are an hour and a half apart. That's not real quick, one. And two, You're supposed to be coming to see me, so I am so confused. So then I said my ATM limit is only $200 a day, and I would have to call and increase it if I wanted to, and that they were closed for the day. Then I asked again, are you still coming? No response. Then I texted again, the eyes emoji. And he replies back to me a screenshot of a conversation that he's having with somebody. I guess trying to show me a business conversation. He asked the person, whoever he was texting, and said,
This is so bad. This is so bad. There's a story about, like, there's a lady, recent story again. Today's date is January 16th, 2025, right? So it depends whatever time you're watching this. If you're watching this 2030, whatever, right? But there's a recent story about a woman that was sending money to like Brad Pitt. Like she sent almost $1 million, right? There's a certain theme to like every one of those stories about someone like sending more money to like a fraudster, right? There's always a red flag that people ignore. You have all this red flag. Why do you have to send money, right? If you're about money, why do you have to send money? Why do you have to have like send a conversation about you having a conversation, something about a business conversation? That's like a red flag. That's like, I'm surprised she's not dating someone international. It's like, if I have to like send like, hey, look at the conversation I'm having with this person. That's like, anyone can forge that. I don't know. It's just like, to me, that's a red flag. Like, so one of the persons said, like, I'm looking at the comments, girl. He's wearing a red flag as a cape. Absolutely. If someone has to like send you a conversation they have with someone else, say, look at this business conversation I'm having. That's a no-no. That's weird. That's a weird red flag right there.
And went smooth, and they replied back and said, yes, sir. And then they said, okay, we're going to Zelle you the $2,500, or can we cash app it to you? So when he sent the screenshot, he said underneath it, hold on, I'm trying to do something. So I backed off. I said, okay. No response. Sat there and waited. Then I responded again, and I said, are you still coming? Not trying to bug you. No response. Then I texted again, I could leave my key in the car for you if you're still coming. No response. So then he texts me at 12:24 a.m. and asks me if I'm up. And I was asleep. So then when I woke up to use the bathroom, I had seen the text message, and I was like, yeah, I'm up now. Of course, no response. The next morning, I waited all morning, and I didn't hear from him. So then I texted, and I asked and said, what's up? So then he replies back and says, what's up, baby? We got moved today, and I might need a favor. I instantly called him. No answer. I was like, okay. Texted, and I was like, I just called you, but what's up? And so he then asked me to go and buy him.
So far, he sounds like a married man. It sounds like he's with his family and children, and she's kind of like interrupting. That's what I'm getting from this.
Something that I'm not going to say, and I'll give you the money back. I try to call him, no answer. So then I said, you need to call me. So he calls me and we talk and we get off the phone, and then he texts me and he says, what did you ensure your location for? And I said, because I figured you wasn't serious. You didn't turn yours on, and I just figured I should turn mine off. And I said, I'm really big on communication, so as long as you communicate with me.
What? Is that like 2025 like dating stuff? That's to have your location on for someone you literally just have intimate relationship with once and don't know this person. That's scary. Sounds like that's how scary movie starts.
We good. He replies and says, don't start acting weird. I fuck with you. And I said, I'm not acting weird, but you just need to answer the phone when I call you. Or at least call me back. And he replied back and he agreed. And then he said again, let's go to Detroit today. I replied back and I said, okay, I'll get ready. And then that's when he called me and he asked me if I was going to come and bring him what I had just bought for him. So I was like, okay, yeah. And we got off the phone, and then I texted him and I said, I'm about to get on the road. Texted me and said, are you on the road yet? But I had told him before we got off the phone, like right when after I get ready, I'm just going to be on my way. So I replied back and I said, I'm 30 minutes away. So I pull up to his apartment. I'm trying to find a parking space, but I couldn't find a parking space. And then I eventually found one, and I called and I asked, and I said, is it okay if I come up and use the bathroom? And he spazzes out on me. And I was like, what the heck? He instantly goes into...
Yeah, he doesn't really own that place. He doesn't own that place. That defensiveness.
You always gotta pee and da-da-da, because basically when we met the first night, when I got there, I had asked and said I needed to use the bathroom. And when we got up on the 5th floor, the lounge area, he had showed me where the bathroom was. So fast forward to now, he's like, you always gotta pee, and what you want? What you just trying to come in here and see my house? What you trying to see what I'm doing? Da-da-da. No, it's not even that.
God.
He was like, I'm sure there's a place around there that you can go use the bathroom at.
What?
And I was like, you're really tripping.
What?
But, okay, cool. Another red flag, because I should have known. Why would a dude trip about you using the bathroom? Especially because I just drove an hour and a half down here to see you. And I just bought you something. Did you a favor? That's when I should have known.
Yeah. Yeah, that's...
So then it was a little bar right where I parked at. And I go in and use the bathroom at the bar. And when I come out, he's standing right there in my car.
Wait a minute. What, she fell for that trick? See? True story. This should be over right now. And that's why I'm very skeptical about like a lot of like story time, because it's just sometimes the common sense is like out the window, because if we all use reasoning, right? A lot of the story time would be like, hey, I met this person. Red flag 1, red flag 2, and maybe red flag 3. And that's it. We're done. Right? But for us to have a story time, we need those like red flags to be ignored. Like, red flag, what's that? Like, this is only a red flag. Take it as a yellow flag. So, but it's just like you drove an hour and some change, right, to go see someone, and you got into an argument over going up. Nah, chill. That sounds weird. That sounds like, again, I think that's a married man. That's just my assertion, right? So we're gonna see, okay?
He has his laptop in his hand. He has all his chargers, his phone.
That's a married man.
All this little stuff that he has.
He got kicked out the house.
When I walk up, I'm like, I didn't know that I was driving, and he doesn't reply to me. And I'm like, okay, open the door. Well, I unlock my doors. He gets in the car. We both get in the car. I'm like, I didn't know I was driving. What's going on? Says, man, this dude just came to pick my car up because he's wrapping it matte black, like a paint job. And he said that he was upset because he left his key fob to his apartment complex and his wallet in his car.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Like Risa Teresa.
Okay, that's part 2. Again, our goal is to like finish everything tonight, okay? We're going to go over all parts. I forgot exactly how many parts, but I know it's pretty long. But we're going to try our best to go over everything tonight, okay? Again, TikTok, Ticket to the Talk is leaving the U.S. and is being banned on Sunday. So I have this story. I also have one more story. And that story is like 8 hours long. So we're going to start covering that tomorrow, okay? But so let's go to part 3 of the story.
So I'm back with part 3.
Why is the volume so low?
Out of close to $4,000 by the Facebook dating swindler. So anyways, back to the story. So I left off at when he said that...
Again, I apologize if the volume is low. There's nothing I can do about that.
His key fob to his apartment and his wallet in the car that somebody had came to pick up to wrap matte black, like a color paint job on the car. And in my head, I'm just thinking there's just absolutely no way that a man would leave his wallet in the car. I just tried to believe what he was saying and give him the benefit of the doubt. And so we're just going back and forth, and then he's saying to me, but, oh, you said we was running to Detroit today anyway. But I was saying, no, you didn't say that I was driving. And he was like, well, you didn't ask either. And I was like, well, you didn't ask either. So clearly it's just miscommunication on both parts. We end up going back and forth, and then he's saying, you're upset about that. I'm the one who's upset. I can't get back into my apartment, and I don't got my fucking wallet. He was like literally the moment I walked out the apartment and then I shut the door, it was a wrap. There was no way I could get back inside the apartment. So that's when I began to feel a little sorry for him, and I eased up off of him. And then that's when he asked, did you bring what you bought me? And I was like, yes, I showed him. And then he asked, well, why didn't I get other things for what I had bought? And I was like, well, you didn't ask me to do that. So then he's like, well, let's find a store, put an address, and go to a store and get that. He finds a store, we put the address in, and now we're on the way. We go all the way to the store, we get inside, and we find what we're looking for. And as we're walking to the counter to pay, he hands it to me. And then in my head, I'm like, oh, okay, so he really don't have his wallet or have no type of money, nothing on him, so he's about to expect me to pay for everything today. And instantly, I just had a mini attitude because I just was like, there is no way that this is about to happen. I'm just too nice of a person. And in my head, I was just thinking, well, he doesn't have his wallet, so
Do I have to give any commentary? Again, I have to pause it and give commentary because I know some people may say like, well, why am I interrupted? If I just let it go and don't give any commentary, it's not fair use commentary, right? It's not fair use for me to use the video because think about it. That's like me just copying a movie, just like posting it on my YouTube, right? You have to give some kind of like fair use commentary for it so it can be like legit, right? But I have to pause it here because there's nothing I can really say. Like, it's a walking red flag. and that's why some of the stories just sound so unbelievable. But I don't know exactly where she was in her life to just fall for this, like, just walking red flag. And there's nothing I can say about this. Like, this is a married man she's dealing with. He doesn't want to, like, I don't know, leave any signs of him like using money or using his credit card, because how do you ration what like this behavior that's going on?
I should just look out for him at the time. I ended up buying it, and that totaled out to be like $20, $21, around that range, something like that. So we leave from there. I get in the car. I realized I didn't have much gas, so I'm like, okay, nearest gas station. First pulled up, I pulled up to the pump, and I had pulled my purse from the back seat, and I was hesitating to get my wallet, and he could tell that I had an attitude. And so I'm like, okay, I gave him like 30 seconds. He didn't say anything, so I'm like, fuck it. I'm not about to beg nobody to give me some gas money, so I grab my wallet and hop out the car. As I'm hopping out the car, he's saying like, what's your cash app? I'm gonna send you some gas. And as he's saying that, I'm shutting the door. So I go inside, and I pay for the gas. Come back out, pump the gas, I hop back in the car. He was saying, you left so soon. I was asking you what your cash app was so I could send you some money for some gas. And I told him, once again, I do not have cash app. I said, again, you're going to have to send it to me a different way. And then that's when he says, well, pull your maps up and give me your phone and put an address in your phone. And as he's doing that, I'm pulling out the gas station. So I handed it to him, puts the address in, hands me the phone back. I'm pulling out the gas station, I'm looking at the address, and I'm like, hold on, this says is 2.5 hours away. It was a Columbus address. And I was like, that's 2 hours there, 2 hours back. Like, that's a lot. And once again, you did not say that I was driving. So now that upsets him. He goes off, you keep saying the same damn thing. You keep talking about da-da-da. You not driving, da-da-da. You didn't even ask. You didn't say nothing. Like, if that was the case, you should have made it very clear. I'm on some getting money shit. I'm trying to go get some money. You think motherfuckers is playing around, da-da-da. Like, that's when he began to say, like, you playing driving to Detroit. Now you playing trying to drive here. Like, I don't know what you want. And I kept telling him, how can you expect somebody to just drive to an address that you just put in your phone? And I said, where am I going? You don't need to know all that. You ask too many questions. I was like, I'm asking too many questions, but you're putting addresses in my phone, expecting me to just go to places. Like, that's not going to happen. You got to let me know what's up. Mind you remember when he tried to say that his ex-girlfriend asked too many questions? He's telling me, I don't even have my fucking wallet right now, so I'm just trying to go pick some money up. I got money to pick up, and you playing. And so here I go. Here he's trying to hit that string, and he did. And I'm sitting there feeling sorry for him, so I keep driving. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe I should go. It's only 2.5 hours. But then
wait a minute. Did she just say it's only 2.5 hours? What's that song? I would do anything for love, but I wouldn't do that. And that's not even, they're not even in love though. Like, this is gonna be a good one. I'm gonna miss like TikTok. I cannot believe I just recently found out about like Storytime. Watched my video from last night, but it's just like, I wish I kind of knew about this. I would have definitely covered this a long time ago, but yes, because this is like, I don't know. This is, again, it's a walking red flag. We got that. That's the, like, I'm right now. I'm sounding like a Captain Obvious, right? But it's just like, yes, this is bad.
Then he's like, man, whatever. I found another way. You can take me back. And I kept going back and forth with myself because I'm just trying to show, okay, I don't want to make it seem like I'm not trying to be there for him while he's in a time of need. So I just kept driving, and then he was like, you know, just take him back. So I was like, cool, I'm just about to go back. Take him back. We pull back up to the apartment complex, and he hops out, and he was like, just wait right here. I'm about to go see if I can find a property manager or see if I can find somebody to help me get back into the apartment. I was just like, okay, whatever. So I hop out. There was this Mediterranean spot right there where I parked. I go in and I grab something to eat. I come back outside and I'm sitting in my car. I had the door open while I'm just sitting there eating. Here he comes walking up to my car. Now he's leaning on the car, looking at what I'm eating, watching me eat, telling me, oh, I didn't find nobody, but I just thought about it, and I remember they told me that I could download an app to access the building. So he's talking about how he's done downloaded this app, and he's trying to, you know, get familiar with it to get back into the building. But he's saying, oh, I think it can only open the front door, though. I don't think I can get into my apartment. I just got to see. I got to get on here.
What? What are you talking about?
Okay, whatever. I'm just sitting there eating like as he's talking. So then he finishes up. Now he's leaning again, just looking. Now he says, you think you could buy me something to eat, and I just cash out you back? I instantly stopped eating. I was like, okay. Once again, I just slam my box of food, hop out the car. We go inside. He wants Goodfellas. So my dumb ass feeling sorry for him because he's talking about he done left his wallet in his car, key fob in his car. He's fasting, so I know the nigga's hungry. Gets his food. $13 worth of food. Gets the food. Of course, steps to the side, waiting for me to pay. I step up and I pay. After I paid, he's like, let's go upstairs at the bar and eat. And I was like, you know,
again, I'm sorry for the volume, but it's nothing I can do about that. I don't think it's anything I can do on my side because my volume sounds really good, but it's just her volume. It just sounds horrid. Let's see if I can. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. Maybe. Oh, adios míos. Desktop volume. Perfect. Okay, let's try this now.
Goes upstairs. I ran back outside to get my food.
Is that better?
And I make it back upstairs. I see him sitting there eating. I go sit with him, and I pull my food, and I try to pull my food out. The bartender's like, no way, you can't eat that in here. That's not allowed. I instantly get an attitude because I'm starving. I hadn't ate all day. So now he's just sitting there continuing to eat as I'm putting my food back up in the bag. So I'm just sitting there waiting on him to say, no, we can leave. We don't have to sit up here. Because I didn't want to make it seem like I was nagging about sitting there eating, but I really should have nagged. So he's still sitting there eating, and now he's just looking at me like, why you got that look on your face? Cheer up. It's okay. I'm not going to be that long. Like, get out of your feelings. Like, it's not that serious, basically. And I was just like, you sitting there eating, ain't you? You sitting there hungry, ain't you? I'm sitting here hungry just like you. Like, I want to eat my food as well. And I said, there's no reason why we shouldn't be going to go eat our food together somewhere else when you know I can't eat here. Now he's talking about, I'm about to be quick. This is not going to be long. Like, okay, whatever. Still sitting there, just watching the TV. So he says to me, you want a shot? You loosen up. And I was like, no, I haven't ate, so I can't drink. So now he calls the bartender and asks the bartender, like, hey, bartender, what type of tequila you got back there? Remember, mind you, he tried to say he had his own tequila brand.
Yeah, but where's the money? That's what I'm saying. Where's the money coming from?
So now he's trying to sound cool. Bartender, what type of tequila you got back there? What type of top shelf you got? So the bartender's telling him all this, and he's like saying, I can get you this, I like this. So he's like, give me a shot of that. I literally went like this and looked at him because you don't have your wallet, so how are you ordering stuff?
Exactly.
The bartender makes the shot, brings the shot, sits the shot down next to Mr. Million. He takes the shot, slides it in front of me, and says, here, you need this. And I was like, that's not even the type of tequila I drink, 1, and 2, no, I don't need this right now.
Wait, she's driving. She's driving, and she's driving.
You're trying to say I need this all because I'm irritated, because I can't eat, because I'm hungry? Like, come on now. Like, you got to stop trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just saying you can use that right now. Like, you know, you got a little attitude, da-da-da. Now he's saying, just try it, just try it. I was literally just in there. I took a baby-ass sip, just tasting, literally just tasting it. And I was like, okay, it's cool. Slid it back over to him. Nah, that's all you. I don't want that. You need that. In my head, I'm like, you just ordered a whole shot just not to take it? just to try to be funny and give it to me. Okay, whatever.
Let's play a game.
So
Who's gonna pay for it?
Here, you want a piece of this pizza? Here, it's okay. I just said whatever. I took a little baby piece of the pizza just to cure my little hunger that I had going on so I can get back to my food.
Who's gonna pay?
He finishes up eating. Now, like when he finished up eating, he just instantly stood up and started walking. I'm just sitting there. I'm looking.
Exactly.
Like, okay. And he's like walking towards the door. Of course, now the bartender's trying to like run down, hurry up and get the tab and give it to him. So as he's trying to hand him the tab, guess what he does? He points down to me. So now the bartender, they both look down at me. I'm just sitting there looking. So now, okay, I'm like, okay. Walk up to the bar, get the tab. I look at the tab. $15 for a shot.
That's not
I
bad.
take the little 15 and went on about my day.
That's not too bad. That's not too bad. Where I'm from, that's a little more expensive than that, but it's not too bad. But again, if he's a walking red flag, right? At what point is she gonna get it? That's the only thing I have to say. And this sounds so unrealistic to me, right? But I have to acknowledge the fact that like this is what people go through. Like if I'm inviting a girl out and I'm behaving how he's behaving, right? I'm pretty sure it would have been like, nah, that's not working. That's not working at all, right? Because again, being truthful, like, dude, like you can go back in the house and like get your stuff, right? You just don't have it. And she's seen all the stuff he's doing and just keep ignoring it. So at what point it's like, but I know, again, she let him get away with it because I'm not sure exactly what her situation is, but it sounds like to me she takes a little bit like responsibility, but there's something missing she's not telling us. That's how I feel about this whole situation.
And as we get to the car, now he's saying like, let's run to Walmart and I just want to see what they got over there. At that point, I didn't even care. I was just ready to eat.
What? Wait a minute. She just paid for the shot and the pizza, but now let's go to Walmart and see what they have there. Oh no, this is gonna be hard to watch.
So
it's gonna be hard to watch because I don't feel bad for her anymore.
Now this man huffing and puffing. I'm like, why are you catching an attitude about driving? But in my head, I'm asking myself, does he even got a license? But of course, then I'm thinking,
exactly,
what grown man at his age, about to be 28, don't have his license or ID? So I assume. Whatever. He drives and we make it to Walmart. We get to Walmart. I'm literally sitting in the car eating my food, not moving as he's getting out the car. And he stands in front of the car, stands in front of me. He's like, come on. I said, no, I'm eating. He's like, come here with me, please. Just come here. I want you to come here with me. Okay. So I'm back with part 3 on how I was defrauded and swindled out of close to $4,000 by the Facebook dating swindler. So anyways, back to the story. So I left off at when he said that he left his key fob to his apartment and his wallet in the car. Okay,
part 3's over. Let's go to part 4. Let's go. Oh, the volume. Adios míos. Let's see. I have everything on max. Yeah, it's nothing I can do about this, guys. I'm sorry. Absolutely nothing I can do about this.
Dating. I was swindled by the Facebook dating swindler, Mr. Million. So where I left off, we walk inside Walmart and he's telling me, you know, I just moved down here and I'm looking for stuff, trying to figure out what all I want in the apartment, this and that. So he's like, let's go back to the electronic section. So we walk to the back and he's looking at this, looking at that. Then he's like, let's look at the TVs. So he's looking at the TVs. Then he looks at me and puts his hand on my shoulder and says, babe, I need a TV. And I was like, okay, I don't know what you're telling me for. Like, okay. So he's like, I mean, I'm just seeing, well, do you think you'd be able to get this for me? And you know I'm already paying you back. So now I instantly looked at him like,
oh, come on. This is... One of the comments says, Chicago Belle says this man found Santa early. The first comment says, I listened and I judged. Come on. This is sounding too good to be true. But you know what's funny about this whole thing? If that was a man, right, telling a story about his experience with a woman, like she leaving her wallet and having to like pay for all the stuff, I don't know why I wouldn't like think twice about it. That's maybe I'm being sexist that way, right? Well, that's a woman now. Now I'm being like, well, this it just sounds too unrealistic, right? Interesting about that. So I have to be very conscious of like my little like what is it called, biases, right? Because if that was a woman, I'm going to like, I don't know, going on a date and she's like, oh, I left my stuff in the car in the house, right? And we go to like get something to drink. It's expected for the man to buy it, right? And then she's like, okay, now let's go to Walmart and all this stuff, right? Its story may sound believable, right? But it's just gonna be like, well, that guy sounds like a simp more than anything else. So let's carry on.
No, because I've already maxed out today. I've already spent what I did, and I don't have it. So then he's just sitting there, and he's like, damn. So then he's like, you think you could get it out the ATM? And I was saying, like, I don't know because of how much I had spent. So then he was just like, damn, looking down at the ground. So here where my dumb comes into play. I say, but I have a credit card.
Oh no. Adios míos.
Yes. Y'all can go in on me for that. Y'all, when I told this man I had a credit card, he went like this.
Someone says, but I have a credit card.
Hey girl, you must want to get married, don't you? I literally was like, boy, what are you talking about? Like, I'm just thinking
sounds too good to be true, man.
Excited, thinking that he's about to get this TV right here in the moment, and of course he doesn't have his wallet, so I'm looking out for him. So that's what's causing even more excitement. Now he's, smacking his hands together, trying to figure out which inch TV he want, looking around. Oh, I'm gonna need a wall mount. Da da da. So now he's like, you need a buggy, you need a flatbed, something. So now we're walking around looking for that. Find one, go back to the back. He puts the size TV that he wanted in the buggy and then goes, finds a wall mount, gets that. So we walk to the counter and we're trying to pay. My card's not working. My credit card. I think that was by the grace of God trying to tell me something. It wasn't working. Don't know why. Hadn't used it all that day and days, actually. Don't know why it wasn't working. Wasn't working. So now he's saying I should go to the ATM and get the money off. This is my first credit card, so I'm still getting the hang of things. And yes, I am a little slow and a little blind when it comes to certain things. And so I never knew, or I guess put that much research into a credit card to know basically that it's an interest charge rate for when you use the ATM for your credit card. I find that out later. But anyways, now we're walking towards the front of Walmart looking for the ATM. So now we get to the ATM. ATM is not working. Again, I think it's a guy trying to tell me something like, stop taping. Didn't. So ATM's not working. So now I'm like, I don't know what's going on with my card, and I'm trying to call the card people. So now he's getting frustrated, and he's like, oh, well, let's just leave, go back to the apartment. He said he has somebody waiting on him at the apartment for business. So we leave, get in the car, and on the way there, I finally get a hold of somebody, and I'm on the car with the credit card people, and I'm asking them what's going on with my card, and they're telling me that everything's perfectly fine. It was just I was out of state, and they were just making sure that it wasn't any fraudulent transactions. So as we're on the way back to his apartment complex, I'm playing music through my car, and I play the song Finessing Out the P, whatever the correct name of the song is, by Finesse 2 Times.
That's probably his favorite song.
And he's like all into it, and he's really feeling it. He asked me to replay the song, and I'm like, why would you?
This sounds so too good to be true. So good. Adios míos.
Replay the song.
Let's carry on.
Literally listening to the lyrics, trying to like delve and see, is he trying to make a point? Is he relating? Like, why is he just digging to this song so hard? I found out later. So So we get back to the apartment, and that's when he was telling me that he was about to go meet somebody for business. And he was like, do you think you want to go back to Walmart and try to get that stuff? So I said, cool, that's fine. I headed back to Walmart, and I didn't tell him that I had money on me. So I was just...
What? Oh my God, this is... No comment.
Just like, let me just go on and get the TV wall mount, whatever. Get the TV wall mount. It ends up being $293. Leave Walmart. I'm on my way back, and I tell him that I'm on the way back, and he texts me back and says, and asks, did I get the TV and the TV wall mount? And I said, yes. So then he texts back and asks, did you run to the ATM? And I was like, no, was I supposed to? And he was like, yeah, because we gonna make it. Instantly called because I was just wondering why he wanted me to go, and of course no answer. And I text some question marks, and then he responds and says, yeah, I should go to the ATM. And I said, well, where are you at and why are you not answering? He doesn't reply to that question. He just replies back and says, how much are you taking out? All I reply so my dumbass, I just replied back, I could only do 200. And told him I went to 2 different banks to try to use the ATM for my credit card, and it still wasn't working. So I ended up having to use my bank card, and with my bank card I can only get $200 out the ATM. He replies back a screenshot of a location to where I should go to try this ATM out, and by the time he did that, I had texted back and told him that I was out front. He replies back and says, babe, you know this is the wrong TV. And I was like, no, that's the one that you wanted that was $258. So I reply back like, damn, I didn't even realize. And he puts the rolling eyes face, and he's like, here I come locking storage. And I'm like, hold on, how are you locking the storage if you said, one, that you didn't have your key fob to get into your apartment, and that you only had access to the front door and the elevator? How what?
I think this story is cap. I think this is like... I think this is a novel. I think this is all in her mind. It's just too... It just sounds too unrealistic, right? If you're gonna write like a movie script, right, you have to have some kind of realistic like basis to it. She's not writing for the Avengers, right? She's not writing a superhero movie. She's writing a more grounded level movie, right? Because this just sounds like some Avengers, like Ultron, like some Spider-Man's kind of stuff right now. Come on. It just sounds... I thought there was some like truth to her story, because I think she did show receipt later on, right? But again, this is 2024, and it's one of those stories I kind of missed, but this just have too much red flags. It's starting to sound like a fable. It sounds like a children's like tale. Come on. At some point, yeah, this is probably ChatGPT like wrote the story, and she want to write a book and whatever, man. This is absurd. But again, if that was a man telling the story, I wonder if I would believe it. Seriously, that would sound like a simp move, but I wonder if I believe it. It's just like, I don't know. It sounds weird. Too many red flags. Like, come on, like this is absurd.
I just was like, you know what? I'm just gonna let it be. And I just said, never mind, nothing. And he replies back and says, he's not back yet with my Benz truck. So for him to just reply like, oh, he's not back with my Benz truck yet, of course I had the thought like, does this man even have a Benz? Why does he have to announce Benz truck? Then he had just asked where I'm at, and I said I'm parked on the street. So he comes down, he gets in my car, we're sitting there talking, going back and forth, and then he asked me about the money that I had just got out the ATM, and says that he needed that because he's waiting on the dude to pull up with the camera. So I give him the money, and then now he's telling me, can you look up a hotel for us to stay at? It was late, like maybe 11:30. Yeah, it was 11:30 midnight, going on 12:30, 1 o'clock at night. And when he said, look up the hotel, I said, why would I be looking up a hotel if dude would be on his way back with your car? And he was like, I just want to stay in a hotel tonight. But as he's doing this, he literally said that and then shuts the door, walks off. And I was just sitting there looking. I started looking up hotels, but
what? What are you talking about? Like,
time goes by 20, 30, 40 minutes maybe.
yeah,
He
this sounds
finally
like
texts
cat.
me and says, "Did you get it?" And I said no, and that I was still looking.
30, 40 minutes.
This
You should
man
have drove
replies to me and
off.
says, "I'm shitting." I said, "Thanks for telling me." And then I just said, "Did you find one?" I said, "Send me some that you see online." This man replies back and says, "Go on Google and type in hotel near me." He had said that to me earlier that day, talking about some go get on Google. And so I knew he was just trying to be smart aleck. So I replied back and I was like, "What do you think I'm doing?" Then he replies back to me and just says a hotel name. And I reply back and I sent him a screenshot of their room prices, and they were kind of high. I said, "These are the only rooms that they have available." And he said, "No, we're not doing that." So I texted him back and I said, "Try to find somewhere else." He sends me a screenshot of another hotel, and then I send him a screenshot of a different hotel. He replies back to me and tells me that he's almost done, which I'm assuming using the bathroom or meeting up with the dude to get this camera. So I reply back and send him another screenshot of a hotel room. He sends me another screenshot of another hotel. But as he's doing that, I'm on the phone with one of the hotels trying to see about prices and bookings. And reply back, all I said was, "Okay, I need to pee." And he writes me again and says, "Okay, but did you find a room?" Did not check, but I see a couple, and then I ask, like, "Where do I walk in? To the front? Where do I come?" So he tells me come through the front door and that he was going to buzz me in. Because, mind you, he's done downloaded some app on his phone to where he claims he can access the front door to the apartment building. Part 4 on who the fuck did I meet on Facebook dating. I was swindled.
Okay, this story is a little absurd, man. It sounds like some like written by Marvel Universe. It's some freaky seeky like. Shout out to Good Ethiopia. It's on some like weird stuff. It doesn't sound realistic at all, right? At all. But let's continue on, okay? I wanted to finish the whole series, but I just feel like this whole thing is cap.
So
I'm not
I
sure.
said to him that I'm at the front door.
There we go. Why is the volume better now?
And then he asked me, "Did it open?" And then I said, "Yes." So I go inside, and as I'm using the bathroom, I had texted him and I said, "Where you at?" This man replies to me and says, "I'm on the 5th floor. Piss and go find the hotel." I said, "Why can't I come up?" He says he's using the bathroom and that he didn't want to shit up the gym. And then he proceeds to ask and say, "Can you hurry up and just find the room so that I can be up underneath him as much as I want it to be?" I replied back to him, and I'm irritated at this point, and I said, "You got Google just like I do, so you can send me a link for a hotel." He texts back and says, "Just pull up to a hotel and get it. I'm getting restless," and that he should have stayed on schedule for the day. Said, "Okay, I've been driving all day," as he would know, and that I'm pretty restless myself. And he says, "Okay, so am I going to keep questioning him, or am I going to go get the room?" So he says to me, "Okay, are you going to go get the room, or do you want to keep asking me weird questions?" Now by then, I'm irritated. I reply back, "Shut up." And so he replies back, "Hurry, boo." I guess trying to put the boo on the end to try to make it sound better. So then he replies and asks, "How far is it, the hotel?" And I tell him that it's about 16 minutes away and that it was basically the cheapest one that I had seen. This man, Mr. Million, texts back and says that the dude that supposedly had his car to wrap it matte black, like the paint job, matte black, had been on his way trying to bring him his Benz truck all night, and then says that he needs me rested because he needs this burden off of his shoulders, and then replies back and says, "So can you do that for me and stop questioning me?"
Ladies, I have a matte black Mercedes truck, so if you want to experience this, hit me up, okay? This is just like unrealistic nonsense. I'm starting not to believe this. Come on, I'm starting not to believe this. I think this is ticket to the talk. I call it TikTok, like ticket to the talk, right? I think the only reason why I'm even here is because of TikTok like algorithm, because this is just pure fantasy. I don't know, man. I'm not with this at all. This is just the more and more it sounds like Disney DuckTales.
So I reply back, no confrontation, like a dummy. And I just said back, okay, boo. So then he texts me back and says, so you're not getting it. And I had to tell him, like, yeah, I'm getting it, but not the ones that he had sent, but the one that I had looked up and that I was on the phone, da-da-da, etc., etc. Say that I'm on the way to the hotel, and then he says, okay. I get to the hotel, I get settled in. By the time I do that, he texts me and he asks me if I'm up. And I reply back and I said, yes. He replies back and he says, what's the room number? And so I reply back to him and I tell him that, like his apartment,
What? Yo, did she drop him off at like one of his girlfriend's house, apartment, or whatever? And that's why he has to come to the. Man, this is. I don't know, man. Maybe TikTok should be abolished.
the hotel has a key card, and that I would have to come down from the elevator, come down from the room on the elevator to get him, to bring him up to the room. And so I had asked him if he could stop by the front desk and grab toothpaste before he heads to the elevator for me to come get him. It was so late, of course I ended up dozing off. And when I woke up, it was literally, I would say 6:30 in the morning. No response from him, and he was not there. So I said to him that I'm at the front door, and then he asked me, did it open? And then I said yes. So I go inside, and as I'm in the bathroom, I had texted him.
Short. Okay, got it. This is like 3 minutes, so let's go to the next one.
So this is part 7. So I said to him that I'm at the front door.
It looks like we missed part 6. So let's see if we can find part 6. It looks like part 6 was omitted. Okay. Yeah. It looks like it jumped straight to part 7. Sorry about that, guys.
So this is part 7 to my scam series on how I was scammed by
I don't think it's a scam anymore. I'm sorry. It's not a scam. This is like some she knew she was gonna be on Ticket to the Talk, and she need a good story to like add to it, and she decides to like just go with it. Cause this is absurd. This is insane. What are you talking about? I drive someone to like a building that she's going to like see her man, and I rent a hotel and she's not. Nah, chill. This is not even like a scam series anymore. This is like she's a willful participant. Okay.
Million, the Facebook dating swindler. I promise y'all, the story is going to get crazy. Just wait and listen.
I have to use the bathroom real quick, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to let's see real quick. Okay, perfect.
Listen, I am not the only victim, okay? No, I'm not. He is doing and has done this to multiple women that he has met through the Facebook dating app. That's why he is called the Facebook dating swindler. Just wait and see. Just listen. Yes, I should have been more careful. Yes, I shouldn't have been naive. Yes, I wanted somebody to like me. Yes, I am admitting to everything you're thinking. Yes, I know, and I have felt it. Trust me. Trust me, I get it, okay? I'm just the only female I think that he has got the most from, okay? So where I left off, I had woke up around like 6:30 in the morning, and I instantly checked my phone and I see no response from him. And of course I didn't hear a phone call from the front desk or anyone to wake me up. So I started feeling like, what's going on? And so I instantly call him, and I'm blowing his phone up. I called his phone so many times. No answer. Kept calling, no answer. So I leave the hotel and make my way to the apartment complex. It was like 7 a.m., something like that. And when I pull up, I'm just sitting outside watching the residents going in and out, because I just wanted to find the right person to see who I can help let me in, because of course they all have access to the building with these key fobs. So then I see this guy walking his dog, and I walk up to him and I said to him, like, hey, my boyfriend just moved in this apartment building and he's upstairs asleep and he knows I'm on the way over here, but he's not answering the phone. He's asleep. Do you mind just letting me up? He was hesitant at first, but then he ended up being cool about it. And then, of course, he explained to me how I couldn't access anywhere in the building without the key fobs. So he was saying, like, if you go anywhere in the building, I'm just going to have to go with you until you find him because I don't want you to get locked inside of the building. So we get on the elevator, we go up. Mind you, of course, the last place that I thought he said he was on the 5th floor. Told him, let's just check the 5th floor at first because I wanted to see if he would actually had been up there. So, go up to the 5th floor. There's not a soul up there. I just looked to the left, and it was the little lounge area. And then when you look straight ahead, they have an outdoor lounge area. Go to the right, it was some bathrooms, and then I didn't explore anything beyond that perimeter to know what was over there. So, of course, once we don't see anyone, the guy that let me up, he was like asking, do you know what floor he lives on? And I said, of course I know what floor he lives on. So then I'm like, okay, well, he lives on the 3rd floor, so let's just go there. Go down to the 3rd floor. He lived right when you got off the elevator. Or I wouldn't say lived. I would say the apartment was right when you got off the elevator. So I'm just knocking. I sat there and knocked for about 30 seconds to
I think his wife is probably going to answer the door. What do you think?
a minute. I was soft knocking. Like, I guess I wasn't knocking hard enough. I don't know. Nobody came to the door, though. And so then the dude's just standing in the elevator looking at me like, are you even really telling the truth? He's trying to figure out what do I have going on. And then he keeps telling me, like, well, I just would like for you to come with me because I feel like if I leave you and then he's not here, you're going to be locked inside the building on this floor and you won't be able to get out, basically. And so I just stood there for a second. I was pondering and I was like, damn. And I said, okay, well, he does have a point and that does make sense. So let me just leave. Nobody still came to the door. Get on the elevator, go back down the elevator, and as we're going back down the elevator, I had texted him and I said, call me. Y'all, the moment I had got off that elevator and I'm walking to my car, get in my car, he's calling. I feel like he had watched me through, like, out the window, because the way I had parked, like the way his apartment was, or where the apartment was, I should say, you literally could see my car, like, diagonal distance. The moment I answer the phone, he's like, what are you doing? Why are you here so early? What's your problem? Like, you doing the most? Why you acting weird? Da-da-da this, da-da-da that. And I start screaming at him like, you're the one acting weird. Why did you not answer the phone? Why did you not come to the hotel last night? I tell him, what is going on? You need to stop lying. You need to tell me what's going on. He's persistent and insisting that he is not lying and that I'm the one that's being weird. We go back and forth on the phone. Eventually, he says he's about to come down. So then we get off the phone. He texts me and says, where am I parked at on the street? I tell him. He replies and says, I'm confused on why you doing weird shit. You making me nervous. I said, what's the problem and what's weird? You didn't come to the hotel. You wasn't planning on coming into the hotel. I just woke up and now I'm here. So that's weird? Doesn't respond to that. All he says back is that he's coming down. So I replied, and I'm trying to catch him up in his lie. And I said, but you're laying in the bed and you can buzz me.
Wait a minute. Catch him up in a lie? What? What are you talking about?
Me up from your phone, so it's no big deal.
I don't know, man. At first, when I first, like, heard this story, like, trending last year, I was just like, okay, this sounds too good to be true, but the follow-up evidence she's going to provide later on, I may not get to that today because I just feel like maybe it's not worth my time. I wanted to, like, go through this whole thing, but I feel like this whole thing sounds like cap, man. It sounds like cap, but I'm trying not to be biased because if that's a guy telling me the story, would I believe it? That sounds like a girl that was kind of like, it sounds like a girl that's kind of like, she's being vulnerable and like telling us like, hey, listen, she was she was being like a simp, right? what is female simp called? I have no idea what it is, right? But she's been a simp and like just entertaining this nonsense. Like what? I think someone says like 3 days in. I'm like, I don't know. It makes her look bad. That's what I'm getting from this. I'm like, But at the same time, it's like I'm trying to be like loyal and like finish this whole thing, right? Again, don't forget to follow me tomorrow. I'm gonna like cover another like very trending one, right? I think that one like made all over the news, right? But this one, I don't know. It sounds too like contrived. Like after that other story that we're gonna cover tomorrow became very popular, people began to like add a little extra sauce, add a little adobo, like to like their story time, because it sounds a little spicy, but it sounds a little like, yeah, it don't sound believable. You gotta have the guy tell the story and tell this part, because I don't know, it doesn't sound good to me. Okay.
He replies back and says that I can't get up the elevator, which later on down the road, come to find out, I could. I was like, okay,
see what I'm saying?
Still just a little bitty tiny ounce.
Dude, this sounds like Disney DuckTales, man. DuckTales, ooh, that's exactly what it sounds like, man. Come on, it sounds like.
I'm gonna give this man the benefit of the doubt and believe that he's not lying. So I replied and I said, I know, but I can still get through the front door and I could just meet you at the elevator. But by then, he's already done came down and walking out the front door. So when I look up and I see him, this man has a whole different outfit on. So I instantly was like, what is going on? He gets in my car and tries to fake act like
dating James Bond. Yo, who's she dating? Adios míos.
It's upset. Like, why you here so early? You making me nervous. You doing weird shit. What you want? Some setup shit? What you want?
She's
like,
wording me
he keeps
out.
asking me what am I on? And that's when I couldn't take it no more. And I just came back and said, what are you on? You the one who's lying? Like, nigga, I said I went up to the 5th floor. You wasn't there. So where was you? I slept by the pool. Why you doing weird shit? Da, 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 da. Like screaming, y'all. Like he got so like he's like this, like jumping up and down, like screaming, like trying to prove his point that he is not lying. He was like, I waited all night for this nigga to come with my car, and he didn't. Don't you think I'm mad about that? I waited for dude to come with this camera, and he didn't. I'm mad about that. He said, I'm so mad that I had to sleep next to the pool. This man said he slept next to the pool in a lounge chair. So I'm like, pool? What pool? Where? I didn't see no pool.
Oh, no.
He's like, you wouldn't see no pool. You wouldn't know because you don't live here.
Oh, no.
Then I said, how are you in different clothes? He told me that he went inside of his storage unit and changed clothes. Just kept questioning him. He literally just kept talking over me because he just kept wanting to prove his point that.
See, that's what I'm saying about a narcissist, right? I don't think she was dating a narcissist. She was just dating a liar, right? Because I feel like a lot of narcissists are better like at trying to manipulate you than this. This is just like straight like something out of like a comic book movie. Like the whole story sounds like a comic book movie.
He wasn't lying and that he was actually where he said he was. And so I'm just an emotional girl. I can cry at the drop of the dime, just like that, when I'm upset and when I'm mad, anything, any type of emotion. So from where I was just so irritated and so mad, I started crying and I started breaking down. And I was just like, I just cannot believe that you're acting like this and that you're talking to me like this and that we're even here right now in this moment. Now that I'm crying, now he's trying to console me and he's holding me and he's hugging me and he's telling me to stop crying and that everything's gonna be okay. And he was like, just wait and see. I promise you, when dude get back on my car, you gonna see. So I just calmed down and I just believed what he said. So we sat there, and then he did the famous line and asked me to pull up my maps so he could put an address in my phone. Pull up my maps, give him my phone. He put some address. I can't remember how far it was, but it was a camera store. And he says, go here. But, of course, like, I had tapped on it to click and see, but it had said, like, arriving at wherever we was going. So I seen, like, okay, we're just going to a store, so that's cool. So we pull up to the store, and he's asking me to go into the store with him. And I said, no, I don't feel like it, because I was still kind of upset. So he's like, okay, hops out, goes inside the store. 5-10 minutes go by. Now he's calling me and he's like, babe, I need you to come inside the store. I need to use your card. I said no, and I said it sternly, no. He was like, I promise you I'm not buying anything. I'm just trying to rent this camera, but they said that they need a card on file while we rent the camera. And he was like, it's not your card's not going to get charged until we or he said it's not going to be no payment charged until we bring the camera back from renting it. He just said they just need a card on file.
Why are you oh my god. I don't believe this story. I don't believe this story. So I'm gonna have a little fun, entertain this. This is all cap. This is all cap. Okay, at some point it's like, when is enough enough? I don't even believe if a guy tell a story like this, except the guy's like, I don't know, Igor, right? And he's dating like, I don't know, some model, and the model just like leading him on, and she knows it's nothing is gonna happen, and she's like, this is a fallacy. This is absurdity at its like at most like apex, right? This is insanity, right? Yeah, it's just, come on, like we're not gonna charge you until you bring, like, come on, what are you talking about, bro? What are you talking about? Like, what did she say? This story is cap, as the kids would say, cap.
And I just went inside with my card.
Yeah.
So
as the kids would say, this is fitted. This is a throwback right now. This is pure BS. Anyway, so part 8. Okay.
This is part 8 to who the fuck did I meet on Facebook dating.
Nah. This is part 8 to like, I want to trend on like Ticket to the Talk, and this is part 8 to like my cap story. This is part 8 to like, I want to write like a ChatGPT book, and this is my way of getting the story, because this is 100% like fabricated. That's what I feel like. Maybe is there some truth to it? Maybe, but like, I feel like the main part, or the main like the main theme that we kind of get, and it sounds just too fake. Again, what do you think?
I left off. He asked me to come inside the store with my card. I go inside. He's right there at the counter with the workers. When I walk up, the workers are like, are you the one that's going to have the card on file? I said yes. And then they're sitting there explaining to me the rental agreement. And then he said, like, you would be liable and charged on your card if anything was to happen to this camera, or if the camera and whatever else he was trying to rent isn't brought back. And so, like, I just had a blank stare on my face, blank expression, and my face was still red, kind of poofy from where I had been crying. So the worker asked me, do you understand?
Crying? Oh my goodness. Oh, this is cap. Oh, this. Okay, we're not gonna finish this.
And do you agree with this rental agreement? And I just nodded my head and I said yes. And so then he had looked at me and then he was like, okay. And so then he said that he was going to put us down for a reservation. But the workers had also said, I believe, that it was not a for sure chance that we would be able to rent the equipment, so that they would give us a call back. So when we leave out of there, we get in the car, and that's when he's like, man, fuck them, let's just go somewhere else. And he was thinking to himself, and then he was like, let's go to Best Buy. So I drive to Best Buy. While we on the way to Best Buy, he's just scrolling on his phone. I could tell he's scrolling on social media. Then he gets a call from someone, I believe maybe a family member, a family friend, I don't know who. And they were just going back and forth talking about family. And then he was like talking about, something that he just talked to somebody, or one of them or her, whoever he was talking about, a family member, saying that they had just asked him for some money. Then he was like, yeah, but I'm going to hit her back and I'm going to send her something. And then he was saying to her how, oh, he just got a new phone and he got a new phone number. And when he said that, I looked down at his phone phone cracked up, scratched up. I was like, why is he lying? Like, why did he say he just got a new?
Let me explain something real. I know about cameras. I know what camera costs, right? that's why I say like this story is 100% cap. We're not gonna finish this, right? I wanted to finish it, but she's lying. In my personal opinion, my observation, right? My personal observation after watching this, there is material like misrepresentation going on. Either she's not telling the full story. That's why I say material misrepresentation is the fact that like, or something is 100% omitted, right? Mean that like, she's not telling some part of it, right? Completely not telling some part. If he said, let's not rent it because whatever happened, let's go to Best Buy. Best Buy wants the full amount, right? Best Buy does not have this like buy now, pay later, right? And Best Buy, he's probably going to try to convince her, right? Again, I haven't watched this, right? He's going to convince her, I'm going to buy it now and return it, right? But so she must have the money to kind of pay for that. Because at least with a rental place, you may have a little deposit you have to kind of put down, right? And you pay some kind of like very slow amount, right? Like this camera right here, right? Or this camera I'm filming from right now, the Canon R6. So if I have to rent it, you're looking at like $120 compared to like paying full price. So yeah, this story doesn't sound like legit at all, because if he's going to take it to Best Buy, that means he's paying like the fair market value for that camera, which is like the MSRP price or with a discount, etc., right? That Best Buy is going to provide, right? So you're looking at like, again, upfront a very large sum of money compared to like going to a rental. If he cannot get a rental, the best thing for him to do is like get a used camera. But if he wants to get a used camera, it's not gonna be from like Best Buy. Not gonna be from Best Buy. Although they do have like a very good open box policy cameras. But yeah, this just sounds so like Disney DuckTales. It sounds too unrealistic. So I'm not gonna stay too long for this. Okay, we're not gonna finish this story because it just sounds like it's becoming an insult to my intelligence.
Phone's cracked up. But then I said, maybe it's a new phone and maybe he just dropped it and cracked it. I don't know. It seemed like they was talking about family stuff. I don't really know. The music was going and I was like really not trying to tune into his conversation with him on the phone, really. So then we make it to Best Buy. The moment we get to Best Buy, this man says to me, you know that Best Buy has a credit line? And he was like, you know that you can go in here and open a line of credit and get stuff and you can pay on it. I said, no, I didn't know that. I don't shop at Best Buy to know that. So then he tells me, man, listen, I'm trying to shoot some promo this weekend and I need to grab a couple things. And, they have where you can open up a line of credit.
Yeah, this is cap. This is Disney DuckTales. One of the most expensive extracurriculum activity you can get into is like this camera stuff. This stuff are very expensive, very, very expensive, extremely expensive. And the idea that he couldn't get it off a rental, he has to go to Best Buy. You're looking at you're looking at the MSRP. You're not gonna get a $3,000 camera, right? Get it from Best Buy for like $1,000. That's not happening. I'm telling you, even if it's open box, right? Cameras are just very expensive, and just like doing videography. And I think that's what happens. Like, she's telling a story, don't really understand the background. I don't know, man. I think this is like cap. I think whoever she's gonna show at the end to say like, oh, he's like he this is the person I'm talking about, right? I think that person must probably paid off, because this sounds too absurd, way too absurd.
In here, and that could be really good for you and your credit, and you can start helping build on your credit by paying on some stuff. So I sat there and I thought about it. I'm like, okay, I did just get a credit card that I'm trying to get familiar with and learn about. And of course, I'm trying to build my credit so I can start and get into the Airbnb business. It's like, okay, like this might be a nice opportunity. And of course, this man said to me after what he said, You know I'm paying for everything, so I'm just trying to help you out. I'm just looking out for you. Then he says, I would do it myself.
He hasn't paid for anything. Yeah, this is a Chat GPT like story. This is fake. Come on.
If I have my ID. But you know my ID's in my wallet.
Yeah,
and dude's not back with my car yet.
Yeah, this is fake.
So I just believed him, and I said whatever. So we go inside of Best Buy, and we're walking around, we're looking. Then
I feel like she's trying to get the sympathy of like women to like have some kind of like thing of like really holding down a man in the relationship, right? A real relationship. This is like one of those like she's paying for everything, not even like a second day like hit it, right? It's like one time and she's struck, right? Come on, this just sounds absurd. And she's trying to like sell the stories to like women that have experienced like holding down a man, right? But those women really went through something. Those women probably really went through like, hey, the guy was not working for quite some time, but something happened because, you know what I'm saying? Like something, right? Because whatever we are hearing right now, it's not it. But her audience is like those women that feel like, oh yeah, I remember taking care of a guy, so they can feel like they can relate. But you should not relate to this because this is like literally a Disney ducktail.
we walk up, we find an associate, and of course he's talking the entire time and trying to talk like a businessman. Yeah, we came here. We're trying to open up a line of credit. We trying to get a couple things, and we doing some things, and da da da. So we walk over. Shout out to Terry because he was very nice and sweet. We walk over and Terry's sitting there talking to him, and he was like, yeah, my girl right here, she wants to open it up in her name. So Terry's telling me like, okay, ma'am, I'm gonna need your card, and we got to do a little credit check, da 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 this, da 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 that. I was sitting there, I said, okay. Gave him my card, and well, I didn't give him my card. Like, you have to like type in the card information on the keypad. Like, of course, it's like a bunch of other stuff that you got to do, all that extra stuff. But you have to type in your bank account, card information. I can't remember what exactly it was, but you have to type all that stuff in. So as I'm typing the stuff in, this man is literally right here, breathing on the back of my neck, my ear. That's not how you do it. Type it in like this. Do that. I literally said, can you back up, please? Like, what is I said, this is my information. I know what I'm doing. They're going to reply back to me and say, that's how we talking to each other? Is that what you want? That's how it is now? Okay, cool. I was sitting there typing the stuff in, like, ignoring him. And Terry was like, just sitting there back looking. So then he steps back and he was like, okay, cool, whatever. So he's trying to do the little, like, where he back up off of me, and he's walking around in a little circle acting like he's looking at stuff right there. So then Terry finished doing the little credit check, and then he comes back and he says that I was approved for up to basically $3,000. So he's telling me, like, you know, you can...
But just so you know, that's why I said this story is cap. This story is literally... I'm starting to go like this story is a fraud, right? I know she's gonna like present something, but you have to understand too, like a lot of times online like scamming, it's probably a group of people, so they know how to like forge something, all right? If she presents someone that says, oh, this is the person goes, yeah, that's me, right? For you start digging deep and realize that person is like who is not, right? People are going to tell you, oh my God, you're being too intrusive, right? A $3,000, right, in terms of camera is nothing. It's nothing. That's just to get you the body, to get the lens, to get the battery, to get all that stuff. It's running you a lot of money. And when you go to Best Buy, if she would have said, hey, I'm going to a used camera shop, I would say, okay, I got it. Maybe like they negotiated something, right? But Best Buy, they're not going to sell you a Canon R6 that costs like, it's R6 Mark II that costs like $2,600. They're not going to sell you that for like $1,500, right? That's not how it works, right? And then when you buy a lens with that, then when you buy other stuff to get it going, buy a tripod, etc., or you buy also like a V mount, right? You want to like so you can have a running batteries, etc., right? So you're looking at like thousands of dollars for that stuff. And the idea that this is cap. This again, and I feel like she did this because she realized her audience probably doesn't have that. But what sucks is that like when you have someone like myself that understand that how cameras work and just know the cost for that stuff, right? Her story is just starting to look like cap to me, right? But someone like myself usually was not gonna make like a video to kind of reactionary video, but I do like. And now I'm seeing this. I'm like, yeah, this is a joke. This is 100% a joke, and this should not be taken seriously. I kind of wasted my time. I need to like change the thumbnail, like
for credit
cat
today.
Story.
So once he said that, that's when dude was like, bet, and he said, I need this, I need that, I need this.
Exactly.
So when he said that, Terry was like, okay, I'm gonna take you there, and I'm gonna show you where it's at. So at first, whatever he had asked Terry to look for, he was looking for it, and they didn't have what he wanted. I can't remember if it was a mini laptop. I can't remember what it was.
A mini laptop? She's at $3,000 with a camera. Oh, no. Lord of mercy. Yeah, this thing is a joke. This story's a cap, man. This story is some Disney DuckTales. Adios míos.
It was so long ago, but he was just asking for different things, and Terry was like looking. So then he finds a couple things, and like as he's finding stuff, he's just bringing stuff back and sitting it down on the counter. So we're standing there, and he's saying to me, I already have a MacBook, I got this, I got that. Then he's asking me like, what do you got? And I told him, like, I don't got none of that. And I was telling him how I don't even know how to work a MacBook. Like, we was just going back and forth, casual conversation. I go and sit down because him and Terry's just now just walking around the store looking at stuff and talking. So I go and sat down right in front of the cash register, and I was just literally sitting there with a blank stare, like, staring off into space, and I'm sitting.
I have a theory. I think the story is reversed. I think there was a guy that she dogged out, right? And did this to, and now she's telling his story. Again, I'm not trying to be sexist, right? Because if that was a guy telling the story, would I believe it? That's what I was kind of ask myself, right? But it's just how it's been told and everything. You just like, yeah, that's cap. It's like, you have this $3,000 credit line, and you're telling me a camera from Best Buy, right? And now with a MacBook Pro, etc. MacBook Pro alone is like almost $1,000, and you buy the camera with the lens, like extra stuff to kind of go with it. Yeah, forget it. You're looking at least like $8,000, right? And I think like she's literally telling a story of someone she went out with that indulge her with all this like material stuff, and she's trying to reverse that story. Says, hey, I'm gonna tell my story because I'm gonna tell that story because Storytime is more popular, is more trendy on social media. Like for example, the Ticket to the Talk, aka TikTok.
And they're thinking, I was just so numb to the situation, like what was going on. I don't even know how to explain my feeling on what I was feeling, but in that moment, I was just sitting there, and I just had that gut instinct, like, is this the right thing to do? And I just was going back and forth with myself. So when they get done walking around the store getting stuff, Mr. Million and Terry comes back to the counter, and Terry brings everything up. When he rings everything up, he's like, it's 2,000 and something. And I was like, what did you get? And why are we spending the full amount? Like, I'm confused. He's telling me, man, just calm down. And then continues to talk to Terry.
He didn't buy the drinks. He couldn't have money for shots. But now you're telling me you got a $3,000 credit line, but now you're saying it's $2,000. Okay, whatever, right? and you're going from buying shots, concerned about buying shots, right, for drinks, to like buying thousands of dollars in camera equipment. Okay.
He's asking Terry, well, how much is left over? And then Terry tells him. And so after he says that, he's like, okay, walks off. I'm standing there, but like he kind of like grabs me to walk with him, puts his arm around my shoulder, like grabbing me, holding me. And he's like, man, I'm going to need you to cheer up. This is what we about to do for you. We about to go and we about to get you some stuff.
This is part 8 to Who the Fuck.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want nothing. He was like, nah, we about to get you something because I want to cheer you up. Like, you look all sad. Like, I just want to make you feel better.
Basically, he's saying to me that he wanted to just make up for the way he acted earlier that morning. So I was just like going back and forth, and I said, okay, whatever. I'm just going to get something. This nigga said he's buying it anyway, so why not? So he's like, what you want? What you want?
What money? What money? Your money? What are you talking about?
iPad, what you want? Some AirPods? What you need? Another laptop for school? Like, what you need? What you want? And so I was just like, I don't know what I want. I don't know. So he's like, look, okay, let's look at this. We walk over to the iPads. It was like some little iPad minis. And he was like, this is cute for you. Like, let's look at this. So we looking, and I was like, no, I don't really want this. And then he was like, man, I really want this for myself. So then he calls Terry over. And he's telling Terry that he wanted this specific iPad mini or iPad, whichever what it was, in a specific color. I think it was black or whatever color. And Terry looked it up. They didn't have that color. So then he was just forgot about it. He was like, okay, whatever, moving on. So then we're walking around. We still walking around. He's like, you sure you don't want nothing? You sure you don't need nothing? And in that moment, like, I didn't really know what to get or what I wanted. So then he's like, well, if you don't really know what you want, we for sure about to get you a phone case. Because you could always use a phone case. So then we walk up to the phone cases, and we're sitting there looking, and he's like, what you like this? Passing me one. What you like this? What you like this? I'm like, nah, I don't like this. I'm sitting there looking at all the phone cases. I literally did not see one that I liked. If I would have seen a phone case that I like, I would have got it. Didn't see.
You're spending $2,000 on equipment and camera gears and laptops and iPod, MacBook Pro Mini, etc. Right? I think a phone case is the least of your worries. Oh, this is bad.
You see a phone case.
Again, my goal was to stay here for like the whole time because there's a longer story that we're gonna cover on my next live, okay? And that's who did I get married to? That's a very popular one, and I feel she wanted some of that sauce, some of that like popularity that story got, right? And I feel like this is what this is all about because this just sounds like cap. And the other story is actually very real. And that's what I should have probably covered today. Because again, Ticket to the Talk, TikTok is going away on Sunday. And sorry about that. So, and I want to cover some like very popular stories in the platform before it goes away, okay?
That I like. So I was just like, it's cool, like whatever. So then he sees one that he likes, and he's like, yeah, I'm just finna grab this one. Grabbed it. So then he's like, you sure you don't see nothing you want? We still walking around the store. Oh, he's stopping, showing me, oh, this is this, and explaining to me different things, and explaining to me how to work this and do this, da-da-da. Knew so much about shit up in the Best Buy store. So then we walk back to the counter, and he gives Terry the phone case, and that was it. And Terry rung up everything, and the total was basically close to $3,000. The whole credit line, $3,000 basically. So now Terry's explaining to me and Mr. Million about the credit line lease, saying that we had to pay $64 that day in the store. And then he said after today, every week or every 2 weeks, however many weeks goes by, that there's going to be the payment. And he was saying how much the payment was going to be. And then he was telling me like there will be interest charges if you want to wait. Basically the little rundown. So we both like, okay. So Terry's like, all right, bags are.
Wait a minute. We both? What are you talking about? We both?
Everything up, hands us the stuff. Then
Someone said, cook Looking for the kid says you need a powerful attorney. Attorney. The Soul Beauty says he do anything but get money. Nah, I think we shouldn't blame him, man. I think there's a lot of material misstatement on this, like that was made here, because this is everything that was being stated is not factual. That's the best how he put it. Okay.
As we walking away, Terry screams to us, literally,
I'm gonna read the comments. Okay.
please don't forget about me. Y'all should give me a shout out when y'all go famous.
Yeah,
and
I do want to hear Terry's side as well, because this just sounds like crazy. But I feel like Terry's like ChatGPT. I feel like Terry's imagination. I feel like Terry's like a make believe character. Okay.
Y'all blow up. Give me a shout.
He is meant to be the antagonist. Okay. And I feel like she's meant to be the protagonist in the story, because I don't believe Terry's like a factual character. Okay.
Shout out about who sold y'all's equipment and y'all stuff. Mind you, this man had been walking around the Best Buy store with Terry, filling his head up. He's telling Terry how, of course, he's into real estate. He shoots promo, and he's doing this, and he does this, and he does that. He's telling him that he's a YouTuber. He's telling him that he gets paid for his social media. Like, he's just telling him all these different things. So Terry...
There's someone that says, Tay says this can't be real. I agree. This cannot be real. Can't, because in no way, not possible, not feasible, not tangible. This is some inanimate object. This is some like fictitious, like imaginary, like a character, or yeah. This is not real. This is a joke.
He's sitting there geeking. This is part 10.
I wonder why. Maybe this is why TikTok is being shut down. I'm just kidding.
Who the fuck? I was like, up front and then pay on it. So but that's not free. I still gotta pay on that stuff, like laughing it off, because I'm thinking he's meaning like it was free because of how you're able to get everything up front and then pay on it.
What are you talking about? What?
So then he ends with, but yeah, you know what I mean. And then we get back in the car. I was like, I don't want nothing. He was like, nah, we about to get you something.
Okay, this is the last one I'm gonna go over, okay? Because this just sounds too fanatic. This sounds too, what a fantasy this is. What other F word can I think of, right? What a fallacy. What a fabric of her imagination. This is just absurd, okay? This is insane, because if this is real, there's no way she accumulated that much money, right? It's not possible, because okay, let's just play this and I'm gonna go, okay?
Because I want to cheer you up. Like, you look all sad, like I just want to make you feel better. Basically he's saying to me that he wanted to just make up for the way he acted earlier that morning. So I was just like going back and forth, and I said, okay, whatever. I'm just going to get something. This nigga said he's buying it anyway, so why not? So he's like, what you want? What you want, an iPad? What you want, some AirPods?
Buy what? That's your money. That's your credit line. That is your credit. What?
You need another laptop for school? Like, what you need? What you want? And so I was just like, I don't know what I want. I don't know. So he's like, look, okay, let's look at this. We walk over to the iPads. It was like some little...
Someone says, cheer you up by buying you something with your own money. Yeah, this is... Okay, this is the last one. Like, this is 4 minutes. I can't do this. I cannot
iPad
do this.
minis. And he was like, this is...
I don't care what the outcome of this. This is a story time, like, that should be deleted with a ticket to the talk, okay? Yeah, we don't need this. We need the other stories I'm gonna tell later tomorrow, okay? Stay tuned for that. This is
cute
this
for you.
BS.
Like, let's look at this. So we looking, and I was like, no, I don't really want this. And then he was like, man, I really want this for myself. So then he calls Terry over, and he's telling Terry that he wanted this specific iPad mini or iPad, whichever what it was, in a specific color. I think it was black or whatever color. And Terry looked it up. They didn't have that color. So then he was just forgot about it. He was like, okay, whatever. About the credit line lead. This is part 10. So who the fuck did I meet on Facebook?
Okay, part 10. Last one.
So
done.
Where I left off, we leave Best Buy, get in the car. He then asked me to go back to the camera place that we had just previously went to because he said they hadn't called yet and he still wanted to see what they were talking about.
What?
So as we were on the way there, I'm driving and I'm just reflecting on what I had just did and what he had literally just said to me about it was free. And I wasn't really saying anything. I was just playing music, and he was just sitting there scrolling on his phone on Instagram. And in my head, I'm thinking, like, one, why isn't he sparking conversation with me? And then two, why has he just been sitting scrolling on Instagram since he got in my...
That's what I'm... Okay. Unfortunately, we have to come to the realization that a lot of things on social media are just pure BS. I get it's an entertainment, lights, drama, action. I get it. I'm with you. But it's only so much you can take. This is a fallacy. This is a fantasy. This is this is basically a spawn of her imagination, okay? We shouldn't play any more games, okay? I'm done. I am done. I am done. I'm not gonna finish this. This is an insult to my intelligence. I'm sorry. It's an insult to my intelligence, and yeah, I cannot do this anymore. I cannot do this. Stay tuned for tomorrow. We're gonna go over another one that I know it's real. I thought this was real, but I can't take this anymore. I can't take this. I cannot take this. When she's sitting there talking about this is free. This is free, but you just had to spend $3,000, but it's free. Okay, I believe you. Yeah, I'm not attacking her. This is her hustle. She's telling a story. It's probably gonna be a book later down the line, right? I'm not hating on that, right? But it would be an insult to my intelligence to keep taking any more of this, okay? So with that being said, I'm gonna call this quit, okay? So thanks for your time. Thanks for hanging with me. And sorry that the audio is a little bit low. I'm thinking about maybe like deleting this and like maybe re-uploading with a better audio. So I'm gonna like enhance the audio, maybe like normalize the audio so the audio is a lot better, okay? But yeah, thanks for being here. This is a fallacy. This is an insult to my intelligence, and I cannot do this anymore, okay? And I quit. Let's go back to me here. So thanks for being here. Please, please, please hit the like button, okay? Hit the like. If you're not sub, please subscribe to this. And again, I'm new. This is my new channel. I have other channels, but like this is new in terms of like entertainment sector, okay? So please, please, please hit the like. Tell me what you want to watch. We can definitely do a live commentary to like whatever trend and stuff or like old stuff, etc. Right? But I do want to focus on Instagram right now because of the fact that like Instagram is going to be terminated in the U.S. In let's see, January 19th, I believe. So I want to have a little like some videos to kind of like look for some of the best story times on Instagram. If you know some good ones, let me know, okay? But till then, I'm going to catch you in my next video. Take a moment to hit the like, take your time, and I'm going to log off. But please, please, please hit the like button. Hit the like button and share. Hit like and share. Hit like.